posterior, and I want to talk about where you sit at 9 or 12. So just to review, if you're right-handed, where are you going to sit if you're doing services to the patient's left? Okay, that's the only time that you're going to, no, not, okay. That, and then also, when you're doing the horizontal stroke on the lower interiors. Now, I wanna make sure, okay. So we can see it better on the bottom. So it's this line angle to this line angle is the horizontal stroke. Toe down. Okay? Yes?
Is your tip directly on the tooth, or is
So I'm using the side
okay
of it. This is what it would
Okay.
look like if I was just using the exact
Okay.
tip. So this is the side.
Okay.
So what you don't wanna do is scratch the cementum with the tip of your instrument. Okay, so I'm using the 1/3 of so there, 1/3 of the working end is, and that's just scratching it.
I have a question that I was having really a problem with on an area was how do you position your hand for fulcruming for a lingual of the upper first quadrant for the horizontal stroke?
Right or left?
I'm right-handed.
The quad 1, 2?
Oh yeah, quadrant run.
Okay,
Quadrant run like lingually.
so what are your question is,
How would you how do you place your hand and
you're gonna have to fulcrum up on the top.
okay? Cause I felt it super awkward and I couldn't feel like I got a good
If you're,
stabilization to do a horizontal stroke there.
yeah, the camera's in the way of,
So
my hand is in the way for the camera, but if you're doing a horizontal stroke on that distal, you're gonna be fulcruming on probably like 6, 7, and 8.
6, okay.
And then you'll bring it back down
Uh-huh.
to do the oblique and the mesial. Okay?
that's for the lingual?
Yeah.
For the lingual, you would do it, for the lingual, I would do like cross arch and telescope out.
Outside.
Extra oral.
Well, it could be extra oral, or you can just do it on the facial of,
Teeth,
like 22, 21 and 22. So you could be out, like if you wanna do it like this. So I'm fulcruming right here. And then I'm reaching across like that and using the horizontal stroke. Okay? So are we good on the horizontal stroke, where we need to be? Any other questions about that?
So for both maxillary and mandibular, the horizontal stroke is only 12.
No, for the mandibular, you're at 9.
Oh,
The only time you're gonna be at 12 for the horizontal stroke is on the anteriors. Okay, any other questions there?
I think the transition from the oblique into the vertical, from the mesial, lingual, and the posteriors,
Maxillary or mandibular?
maxillary.
Are we allowed to take the instrument out and then reposition? Or it has to-
Absolutely.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
all the
because I
stroke
thought we had
changes?
this
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, for all the stroke changes, not going from oblique to mesial,
Okay.
but pretty much any horizontal transitions into the other ones, you probably are gonna have to take it out.
Okay. So like starting off distally when you do horizontal to when you do vertical to horizontal, we can take it out and then reposition it, but just not when we're going to the medial side.
So like, here, yeah, you'll probably have to take it out to transition to the horizontal strokes. I don't think you would be docked for that. Yes.
For the anteriors, after you complete exploring the tooth, then you go back with the horizontal stroke to finish, to just make sure that you got everything, or are you going horizontal only on the surface on the facial surface of the tooth?
Well, I'm not sure what I understand your question, but this is, I'm gonna see if I can cover what you said. So, let's say you're supposed to do cuspid to cuspid. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're sitting at 12 because you're gonna do surfaces to the patient. You've already done, let's say, surfaces to the patient's right. Or do you want me to do that? Okay, so here we've done so let's do it on the mandibular. So now we're going to do, here's the midline. We're going to do this. We're gonna overlap the midline. We're gonna overlap the midline, go up to the contact. So we've done it facially. Now we're gonna do the same thing lingually. We're gonna go all the way back. Okay, now we've done all the surfaces to the patient's right. Now we're gonna move to 12, and we're going to do all the surfaces to the patient's left, facial, and then lingual. Now is when you're gonna do your horizontal stroke. So you're gonna go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and then you're gonna go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way.
Ms. Nuda, if you finish on the lingual side, can you go ahead and do the horizontal stroke on the lingual, or do you want us doing the buckle first? Kinda like what you do.
Well, why would you not want to, I guess?
Oh, I think cause our, sequence says start on the buckle, or horizontal, then go to lingual.
Oh, I don't care whether you start buckle or
Okay.
lingual,
Okay. it's
but
fine.
I think you should do the horizontal stroke at the end.
Okay.
I have another question. When doing the horizontal, is there a position for like the V towards the tooth or out?
No,
Does it matter?
no. The only thing that you wanna do is everything curves or wraps. You don't have that flat edge like you do on the distal of those posteriors.
So horizontal is
So,
just
yeah.
toe
Down.
toe down, okay.
Yeah, and I don't care whether you start right or left, but just make sure that toe is down. Okay? Are there any more questions on the horizontal stroke?
We made the agenda.
Oh, great. Okay, so we're done with the horizontal stroke. Now I just want to review the posterior. I'm gonna try and do, can you see that or not?
Yes.
The correct working end. Now, can you see the V?
Yes.
It's kind of. Well. Okay, so here's the V. Ergonomics, this is not ergonomics, this is photography. Okay, so you can see the V is backwards, correct? Okay, now, so we go thirds here. This is where we're just gonna roll the toe down, but you see I took it out. And I'm going to do the horizontal stroke on the whole line angle. Not just this little section down here, because you wanna find out on this whole line angle whether there's calculus or not. Then you do the oblique stroke, and you don't need to take it out here, and you do the vertical stroke. Now, I wanna really, because you're going to need this very, very soon when we do the universal. See this lower shank? Think about the long axis of the tooth. So let's look at this tooth. See, that is the long axis from here to here. And you want that lower shank parallel to the long axis. Okay? So when you get your universal out, it's gonna be important, and when you get your other instruments out, not just your universal, when you get your other instruments out, if you don't have that long axis parallel to that lower shank, then you have the wrong angle of the blade. It's either gonna be too open or too closed. So if you have, and this is only on posterior I'm talking about right now. So if you have, can you see how that's not parallel? That means that blade is gonna be closed flat against the tooth. And all you're gonna be doing is rubbing the face of the blade against the calculus. And that's gonna get the calculus smooth. You're gonna think you removed it, when in reality, all you did was smooth it off. So you have to have that lower shank parallel to the long axis of the tooth. So that looks more parallel like that. So both mesial and distal, it will need to be parallel. Otherwise, it'll be either too open and you'll be using the back, or it'll be too closed and you'll be doing the face of the blade of the working end. Okay? So I wanted to really emphasize the long axis of the tooth. Questions? Okay, any other questions like that you didn't write down on your, yeah?
Oh, well, not about questions about that, but for like next week, we're talking if, because we're 2 thirds through, maybe saying if you can demonstrate like this when we're all together for like the Nexus instrument and for future instruments.
Well, the problem is we have DH14 after we have DH15. And during DH15, we don't have access to the classroom.
What if we took like maybe even just 5 minutes in DH14 for next week's instrument, just to kind of, so we can practice over the weekend?
You wanna do that?
Okay.
Okay, what is the instrument? I don't have the syllabus.
Yeah, so let's go do the next one. Cause this gives us like a way better view